0 test flights, 0 enemy kills, 30 American deaths. 50 years later. Welcome to the bunker. I'm Professor Von Blunder, and today we're examining one of history's most impressive achievements in weaponized stupidity. The Weser WP 1003, a Nazi tiltrotor plane so fundamentally broken it never once left the ground. You'd think that would be the end of the story, right? A failure so complete it becomes a footnote. Wrong. Because American engineers looked at this grounded German disaster and had a brilliant idea. Let's build that. And they did. Multiple times. The result? 30 dead Americans, billions of dollars wasted, and a production aircraft the Pentagon tried to cancel, but somehow still flies today. Let's rewind to World War II. Germany is losing. Badly. They need a miracle weapon. Enter the Weser WP 1003, a vertical takeoff and landing aircraft that promised to combine the hover capability of a helicopter with the speed and range of a fixed-wing plane. Think of it like strapping helicopter blades to the wings of a regular plane and hoping physics doesn't notice. The concept was simple. Massive rotors mounted on the wingtips would tilt. Vertical for takeoff like a helicopter. Horizontal for flight like a propeller plane. Revolutionary. Visionary. Absolutely idiotic. The WP 1003 never advanced far enough in development to actually prove how catastrophically flawed the design was, because it never flew. Not once. The war ended. The blueprints gathered dust. Problem solved, right? Now, if you designed a plane that never flew, would you expect it to inspire anything? Because the Americans saw this and thought, yeah, let's build that. In the 1950s, American engineers discovered the WP 1003 plans and became obsessed. The allure was undeniable. Helicopters are slow, planes can't hover. This thing promised both. In military engineering terms, that means they saw a blueprint for a machine that had never worked, performed 0 tests, killed 0 enemies, and decided it was worth billions of dollars and decades of development. They built the experimental XV-15. It crashed. They built the V-22 Osprey. It crashed more. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. First, we need to understand exactly why this configuration is a flying death trap. The V-22 Osprey entered development in the 1980s. By 1986, engineers recommended canceling the entire program due to technical and safety issues. Naturally, the Pentagon ignored them and kept going. Between 1992 and 2000, the Osprey racked up an impressive service record, 30 crew and passengers dead, and many more non-fatal crashes. Why does it keep crashing? In tactical terms, that means the tilt rotor configuration is fundamentally unstable. When the rotors are tilted in transition between helicopter mode and airplane mode, the aircraft enters an aerodynamic nightmare zone where it's too slow to fly like a plane and too fast to hover like a helicopter. Add in something called vortex ring state, where the rotors suck in their own downwash, and you've got a machine that actively tries to kill its occupants. Osprey pilots require extensive special training just to avoid the many creative ways their aircraft wants to crash. Test 1, crashed. Test 2, also crashed. Test 3, killed 4 Marines. Test 4, recommended for cancellation. Test 5, entered full production anyway. Now it's the main airborne transport of the US Marine Corps. So why did they keep building it despite decades of death? In procurement terms, that means they'd already spent too much money to admit it was a bad idea. Right, Timmy. Let's demonstrate the WP 1003 concept. Timmy sets up the scale model. I activate the tilt rotors. They spin. The model immediately flips, smashes into the bunker wall, and erupts in flames. Timmy dives behind a filing cabinet, his eyebrows smoking. Exactly as the Germans predicted. Perfect. Time for the stupidity meter. The Weser WP 1003 and its cursed American offspring earn a 9 out of 10. Money wasted, billions of dollars on a concept that never worked in 1945 and still barely works today. Enemies killed? 0. The WP-1003 never flew, and the Osprey has a better track record of killing its own crews than enemy combatants. Collateral damage to Timmy, he's currently patting out his smoldering lab coat, so I'll give that an 8. If you had $1 billion budget and a Nazi blueprint that never worked, what would you build? Let me know in the comments. And someone please get Timmy a fire extinguisher. He's still smoking.